guys? Dave from Wolf in the Wild Survival. I am in the woods in kind of northern Ontario, in Muskoka. One last camp trip before the winter hits. It's still gonna get cold. It's gonna be below freezing. But what are you gonna do, right? Let me move some of that out of the way. There we are. A little bit better. Okay. Got my camp pack here. Some of you familiar with. However, I have something that you guys haven't seen me use, at least. I got the Snugpack Bunker3. I've used it a couple of times. I don't really know if I'm ready to do a review on it or not, but the idea is, the last time I put this thing together, I left the bathtub portion and the fly portion together. It's supposed to be a fly up first style of tent, and I'm not going to go into great detail on that because there are videos about setting this tent up and all that kind of jazz, so I'm not going to waste time on it. But I had the fly and the inner part still together when I put it back into its case. How is it going to be to set up as it is, instead of just doing the fly up first and then putting the inner part, the bathtub part, into it as well? That's what I want to find out. Also, like I say, it is going to go below freezing, so this is supposed to be a 4-season tent. Let's see how well it does. Let's check it out. All right, so time to set this thing up. Okay, so for a review standpoint, now if you watched any video about setting one of these things up, or if you intend to, you'll know that the tent poles have they're color coded as to where they go, which I think is a really, really great idea. I think that's a very smart design. So that being said, I mean, you know, like I say, I don't want to get too far into the process of it. But one thing that I did want to say about this tent, you can feel quality. Like when you have something that, you know, has some actual quality to it, you can feel that you know, it's readily apparent as you play around with it. And these tent poles are definitely quality. Now the shock cord could be a little bit tighter, actually. They did loosen up, and this is almost brand new. Like, I haven't used it that much, so there should be a way to tighten that. I don't know. But when they go together, it's just a solid piece all the way. It doesn't have like those silver kind of tubes that other tent poles have, and they catch on the tent as you're trying to feed it in and whatnot. These don't have that. It's just nice and straight all the way across all of them. It don't catch on nothing at all. So I like that. So that is, on a review standpoint, that's just something that I wanted to kind of mention, because I think that's really cool. Now, as I said before about color coding, so I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, it goes from green to the regular black. The other poles are all black. This green goes into a slip that has green on the end. So very, very good design. But on one of my poles, whatever, I had to take a fair bit of shot cord off because it was just stretched out way too much, and I don't remember stretching it out. Now I'm 6 feet tall, and that's more than half me, so it's like 3.5 feet. I had to cut off the shot cord. It's already stretched out that much. So yeah, iffy. But it's not like those tent poles where it barely fits through. It's got like quite a large amount of space in there, so it'll accommodate a knot very, very easily. Very easily. So I just sort of looped it, tied it off, made it real tight, and then cut the excess off. That's all I did. Not a lot of messing around or trying to fit anything. It worked out good. Okay, we're down to the moment of truth. I got all the poles fitted in. I'm ready to raise the tent. The inner is connected. Very easy to set up before, where the inner was off to the side. I put the fly up and then I went in with the inner, put it all together. Very, very easy. Little bit time consuming to find all the clips and loops and kind of whatever, but still very, very easy. How is this going to work? Because there's going to be extra weight. One there. There, and one there. All right. Talk to you for a minute about pegs. Now, as you can see, it's standing just fine. And as long as it's not super windy, you know, you're good. You don't need them, which is great because I do a lot of camping, like in the Canadian Shield area, and a lot of the time tent pegs just are not a viable option. We sometimes have to like get logs and lay them sort of along the tent and tie off to them and whatnot, but these tent stakes are very, very, very lightweight. There's a whole bunch. There's more than you're going to need. Definitely a lot more than you're going to need. But they don't weigh nothing. It's like an aluminum alloy of some kind. And yeah, I'm into rock. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go in on an angle, just stake it down, and I mean, it's like I say, it's not necessary, but like they're pretty decent. And they're extremely, like, I feel like I'm gonna break this thing, but they're strong. You know quality when you feel it. When you feel this, it doesn't feel like quality at first, but when you give it a little stress test, it's really good. Really, really good. And I don't know exactly how many are there, but way more than you're going to need. And they weigh practically nothing. The whole tent is designed to be lightweight, and it's like 7 3/4 pounds or something like that. But I mean, for a 4-weather tent, 3-person, you know, all the features you get, that's not bad. That's not a bad weight. Not a bad weight at all. So everything is designed to be as lightweight as possible without like sacrificing quality. And I really, really, really like this thing so far. I haven't used it that much, and I'm going to see how it does in cold weather, because like I say, it's going to go below freezing. But so far, I do like it. So that's my Bunker 3. You'll see in the back of my pack, I have a sit pad. I don't normally bring this kind of chair, but I'm on my brother's property up in Muskoka, Northern Ontario. I'm not necessarily, like, I'm from his house, I'm not that far into the woods necessarily. Now, he lives out in the sticks. Okay, he don't live nowhere near town. He's out there. So, I mean, I really am out in the bush. I mean, I almost hit a bear the last time I was here. We are out here. So, I'll you know, I brought this chair along for this time. Normally, I would just have my sit pad or like my sling chair. Basically, I got a couple of those in here. I also have a new axe with a protector that's way too big for it. It doesn't fit, but I haven't found a smaller one, and I haven't gotten around to making one yet. Now, the axe that I had before, I did like it. I did. It was a relatively decent axe. The steel was a little bit soft. It's not hardened steel, but still, it was a decent axe. But my younger brother went ahead and made sort of a Viking style bearded axe, and I put it on a handle, and I really like this axe. It's like my brother, you know, I mean, he really went to work on this thing for me, and I really appreciate it. I really like it. So that's the axe that I use now. That's the only one I bring into the woods with me. It's got its own place on my pack. Now, let me see what else I've got. I got my hammock and my tarp and my sleeping pad and like all this stuff. I mean, some of you have probably seen the video I did of like what's in my camp pack. Not really a whole lot of it has changed, all in all. This axe and the sit pad. And the sit pad sits right into the back area, so when I put the backpack on, it's extra padding. So it actually feels pretty good. And, oh yeah. So unfortunately, like, none of my videos all summer long actually turned out, and case in point, even now, I forgot all of my audio video equipment. I had it all packed up and ready to go, and I was in a rush to get out and get this more than 5-hour drive over with, and I get here and I realize I don't have my camera equipment. So I'm filming everything with my phone, but I did have the presence of mind to put a backup so my phone has like a tripod and like a holder so that, you know, I could use it as a camera. So yeah, stupid me. But none of my videos worked out at all over the summer. I did a lot of canoeing and running around like way northern Ontario kind of thing. So I got myself some of the Vibrams just for while I'm in the canoe, in and out. You know, it doesn't matter if they get wet. I'm not wearing socks or anything like that. These are super comfortable. They've got a really good traction on the rocks and whatnot, even when the rocks are wet. I like these things. You kind of have to figure out how to put them on, and you know, it's a little bit of a process. But once you get used to them, they are awesome. I really like those shoes. I have my first aid kit. Change of clothes. Always have a change of clothes in my pack, no matter what. Now, I haven't actually switched this over from hot weather to cold weather yet, which is why those canoe shoes are still in here. They will be swapped out for a pair of slightly better, warmer shoes, just in case for some reason my hiking boots get like buggered up. I have my Agawa Canyon Boreal 21 saw, and I have my silky boy that I don't know why I always keep it in the case that it came in, and it would probably fit better and it would just be way easier if I didn't, but I don't know, I always keep it in the case. I have my solar panel, and I have like 2 battery packs and, you know, cords for like my flashlight and my camera stuff, and, you know, stuff that I didn't bring. All the charger cords I need. I took like a long barbecue grill and I cut it down. It's heavier. It is actually quite heavy. Every other camp grill that I ever had warps just really, really bad, and it just turns to garbage. This, I've used this a bunch of times. It's heavy, but it doesn't warp. It doesn't like anything. It's great. It's worth the wait as far as I'm concerned. And my cook kit with my twig stove, and like there's cups and whatnot inside. Cutting board. Semi-flexible cutting board. This I prepare food on. If I catch a fish, I'll clean the fish and whatever, and not have my knife like digging onto a rock or in the dirt and anything like that. It's also my plate, so like I'll wash it. I've got like camp soap and whatnot, biodegradable camp soap. I'll wash it and I'll use it as a plate too. So between like cooking and the cleaning and the eating, and I've got eating utensils as well around here somewhere. So just like a cheap, flexible cutting board. Excellent in a camp pack. Then I have, that's my sling chair. And then I have, like, if there's a hat, bug spray, what do you call, sunscreen, toilet wipes, like wet ones, after bite. Like I say, still warm weather. And okay, I got my food bag here. That changes all the time, but there's like usually rice and black beans, and then there's like bannock mix and some spices and, you know, kind of whatever. You know, if for some reason like I have to like kill a raccoon, I've got stuff in here I need that would make it taste better. Then I have, what is that? Oh yes, this is my all my electronics kind of thing. My headlamp, my all my charger cords, rechargeable batteries, everything that basically goes with this. That's and it's in a dry bag, kind of whatever. I mean, if you saw that one where I capsized my canoe, I hit a tree in the middle of the river and everything got wet. Yeah, dry bag. Lesson learned. All right, what do we got in here? My bug net over my head, and some entertainment. I have the Pocket Survival Guide. written, oh, who, was it Morris Kuhansky or... Just pulling out. Okay. So, Lofty Wiseman, John Lofty Wiseman. I got the SAS Pocket Survival Guide. I have a pocket version of Sun Tzu's Art of War, and I have a deck of water-resistant playing cards. So, it's my entertainment. Sit down and read, play a little bit of solitaire, play, I don't know, play whatever I want and cheat. It's just me, right? And once again, it's in a dry bag, which for some reason, because I'm doing, yeah, the wrong way. And now this will add to the buoyancy of my pack too. So if I happen to fall in the water, it might not sink all the way down. Maybe, possibly. Gorilla tape. Okay, so I have a fire kit on the front, but I also have a torch lighter and a ferro rod. And the other side, I have my compass. And then to go with the compass, up in here, map, Fresnel lens, little green scrubby. These things, don't go camping without one. Clean your cookware, clean your hands. Awesome. Pair of leather work gloves, not like super warm, but, and then like that's actually my fridge. I'll put like my drinks, my, you know, kind of whatever, and then I'll wrap it like paracord and I'll put it in to like the river or the lake or whatever that I'm camping near, and it keeps all that stuff cold. So, really handy. So, like, a lot of people will carry map and no compass, or vice versa. A lot of people carry both and have no idea how to use them. You should learn how, and there are videos on the internet that'll teach you how. Okay, moving on. My toiletry type sanitation kit. I got, you know, everything I need. Brush my hair, wipe my bottom, clean myself, kind of whatever. All that good stuff. Spare compass, because you never know. Signaling mirrors, and a sewing kit, pre-threaded. All like a bunch of different colors of thread. Not that it really matters, but it's all pre-threaded. So if I'm in the woods and I'm kind of, you know, shaky, I don't have to thread a needle. Also, I have 2 mirrors. This way here, if I'm maybe checking myself for ticks and, you know, I'm not quite sure, I can kind of, you know, one to the other to me kind of thing. It makes it a little bit easier. Plus, you know, 2 is 1, 1 is none. If one gets broken, got a backup. It don't weigh nothing, very lightweight, very small. Good to have. Okay, and as a wipe my bottom and a backup. This is my shit kit. I take water from lake, river, whatever, water source, over to where I'm going to use the bathroom, and I clean myself. All of everything like that, it's all yellow. All right? All yellow. This way here, I know not to cross-contaminate. So I only use yellow to clean myself up. So if I happen to run into that, I got that as a backup. And you don't want to do that kind of thing like near your water source necessarily, because you might contaminate your water source. So you want to do it a little further away, hence the little yellow sink. I have another sort of kitchen sink, but it's green. Green is food, blue is first aid, yellow is gross. Okay, let's my stainless steel water bottle. There's my fire kit right on the front. Oh, my Gorilla Tape went. And then now the very, very bottom, the underneath part with one of the chairs. I have a rain poncho, hammock, sleeping bag, tarp. Like I'm not going to dig into that, because I mean, you know, if you've seen one sleeping bag, you've seen them all. You've seen one hammock, you've pretty much seen them all. So now I did know that I had not actually set this thing up for cold weather yet. So I just grabbed a pair of fairly warm gloves. It's not going to be super cold, so fairly warm gloves. I have my hat, and I don't know if you're going to be able to, there's lights on it, so it's like a headlamp. And then balaclava, and like a tube, sort of whatever you call these things, like a gaiter, I think, something like that. So I threw that in there. I also have a sort of an olive drab shemagh in here, wire, more Gorilla Tape, an extra saw blade for my silky, and a whole bunch of paracord, as well as some tarp clips and another spare ferro rod, just because. So, oh, and then I have like my e-tool and my Katadyn Hiker water filter on the side there. So I got a bag of food, I've got, you know, the water filter and the shovel, the e-tool, and I got like some MREs, which if I have enough space on my phone to do all the videos, I'm going to maybe talk a little more about the tent, maybe a little more about the gear, and I'm definitely going to eat one of those MREs and sort of show you guys what some of the Canadian MREs are like. And I don't know, I'll probably bring you into the tent and, you know, show you like my setup and how I got the bedding done and whatnot later on. So for the now, I'm going to put all this stuff away, and I'm going to have some coffee, and then I'm going to set up my my bedding and whatnot, because we have about 2.5 hours of sunlight, so we got to get firewood. We have to get firewood. So I got to get this done and then get that done. So see you in a little while, guys. All right. I got my sleeping pad in here. Not like my usual one, but like one of the big, really thick, heavy-duty, kind of self-inflating ones, because it is going to be really cold. I'm on a really, really nice bed of moss. Like a nice thick, ooh, so nice, so comfy. But extra comfort, extra warmth. Got a deer skin. So I'll put this over my sleeping mat. I'll lay down on top of this in my sleeping bag. I'm gonna be warm. I am gonna be so warm in this. There we are. So, few things are as warm and comfortable as a properly prepared, cured deerskin. It got colder than expected last night. Like -5 degrees Celsius, which is 23 degrees Fahrenheit. The really bad part, I grabbed the wrong sleeping bag. So I grabbed a summer sleeping bag, and it's too small for me. It was for one of the teenagers. So very cold night last night. Just moving about, trying to keep warm. Haven't really done like a whole lot for any videos, because the cold kind of plays havoc on the phone battery, and just too cold. It's warming up. It's warming up now, and not going to be shooting a whole lot. All in all, part of the reason I'm up here, it's my brother and sister-in-law's combined birthday party, and we're having a cookout. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that too. So not really a whole lot of video, but maybe a little bit today, maybe some more tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe when it warms up and it's the sun's a little bit higher and whatnot, maybe we'll take you guys on a little bit of a tour around the area and show you around. But for now, I'm just going to move around and get warm and keep warm. It's turning into a nice day. I think it's like 5 degrees right now, above freezing. Oh. Honestly, still feeling a little bit tired. But moving around, I'll wake up fully eventually. Okay, so I just walked out of my camp and into sort of the forested area, and yeah, have a look at this. There's a lot of maple tree all over. My brother does maple syrup every spring. There's cherry. There's a lot of cherry in here. Not a lot of softwood at all. The odd one here and there, but lots of maple, lots of oak, some cherry. There's a smaller basswood and looks like an ash tree. Nice area though. Turns out I was wrong. Hemlock. There's a lot of hemlock in this area at least. And there's a lot of spruce around here too. So if you walk far enough, you can find a fair bit of softwood. I don't necessarily know if I'd want to carry a whole lot back to camp from this far away though. But it is not all hardwood around here. There are no trails. You just sort of make your own way. There's a good number of bears in here too, so you gotta keep an eye out. Moose as well. Moose are way more dangerous. Nice and peaceful in here. So I guess that's about it. I mean, it's a kind of a short, uneventful camp video, but without my proper camera, proper tripods and whatnot, there's not really much I can do. But the pig roast that we had for my brother and sister-in-law's birthday was great. It turned out really, really good. We had a ton of people here. I got to see a bunch of people that I haven't seen for a very long time, so that was really great. Other than that, I guess it really wasn't like a true camp out either. It was more of a, pitch tent to sleep in, but the rest of the time I'm hanging out in my brother's backyard and kind of doing whatever. So now all the weekend's over with. was a great weekend, and I'm about to sort of break everything down. Some more thoughts about the tent, the Bunker 3. For a 3-man tent, no. It's definitely not a 3-man tent, especially if you're like 6 feet tall, like I am. 2, maybe. Me and my gear, definitely. This is perfect for me and my gear. So it's got kind of a weird shape to it that kind of a hexagon kind of shape to it that kind of makes it a little difficult to stretch out in. Mosquito. It's a really, really good tent. It's a really well made, well constructed. It's got a lot of life in it. It's got a lot of potential to be my primary tent for a long, long time. But as a 4-season tent, it's not. It'll hold up to winter conditions. It'll hold up to that kind of thing. But does it hold heat in? Not necessarily as great as some of the other ones do. It's not bad, but I don't know. I can't see it holding in heat, really all that well. And it does get pretty dark in here too, so I have a light attached for nighttime, because like even when it's light, like fairly light outside, it's still really dark in here because of the black inner portion and the dark green outer portion. It does block a lot of light, which is, I like it. I think it's good for, you don't want to wake up right when the sun comes up. You're not getting this glaring light in your face, because it really does cut down on the amount of light. Also, a buddy of mine had his tent set up like down the way a little bit. His was it was blue. You could see his tent, like, as long as there wasn't something obstructing your view, you could see his tent from a long way off. Mine blends right in. You can't see it at all. I like that too. So I think I have a chipmunk outside my tent. Would I recommend the tent? Yes, I would. Do I like it? Yes, I do. It's not a 3-man tent. It's not. It is not big enough to accommodate 3 people at all. No. But that's okay. It's a good size for me and my gear. I don't mind that at all. This is Ella. She is my brother's neighbor's dog. And Ella is the reason why I haven't filmed too much, because I've been playing with her all weekend long. Ella. Ella. Ella pup. Puppy puppy. There's a good girl. So that about does it. It's time for me to pack up, get all my stuff together, break this tent down, and go home. So, not, like I say, not too much of a camp video, more of a review on the tent, I suppose, and quick look in my rucksack. So maybe next time. Hopefully I'll remember my camera gear next time. Alright, you guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next video.